It's hard to believe these 3 young students that joined us back in August, how quickly flies by. It's hard to believe. In the meantime, we're already starting to plan for next year, and certainly want to enlist your help in that process. We have 3 students coming again in August, and we are in need of host families. We need 3 host families for each school district, and we are currently recruiting for York Suburban, York Central, and Dallastown School District. So if yourself or somebody you know might be interested in that, and we greatly appreciate your assistance in that. In fact, this past year, we had 1 school district, but we only had 1 host family. And we're very grateful to Jack and Todd Gates and Mr. Christopher for all 3 sessions. So we really appreciate that. So we want them to be the last ones that ever host a student for all 3 terms. With that said, it's my pleasure to introduce Noel Affolter, who's here from Switzerland and spent a year at York Suburban School District.
Rotary, one of the largest clubs in the world. Yeah. Well, doing an exchange year was such an amazing experience for me, and I would do it again anytime. It is just so much fun to basically fly away and start a new life. But of course, it doesn't just immediately start with you boarding the flight and going to wherever you want to go. Well, it'll be a slideshow, so enjoy the pictures. So where was I? Yes, I had to fill out so many applications, and I had to write so many essays that I sometimes wondered, is this worth it? But when I then finally got the call from my Swiss Rotary Club that I got accepted to do an exchange year, I knew it was worth it. This was until I found out that I was going to York. Now, don't take this personally. When I found out that I was going to York, Pennsylvania, I was a little bit sad. You know, I was hoping to go to California, Florida. Anyhow, next thing I had to do was go to the airport. Now, saying goodbye to my family wasn't really hard for me, as I knew that I would eventually come back unless the plane would crash or whatever. Nothing happens so far yet. But going through the security check gave me a really hard time. I've traveled a lot in my life, but never have I ever had the amazing opportunity to go into a little room with a huge guy who started touching me all over. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what I was thinking that moment. Well, anyhow, after this little, let's say, fun experience, I got to board my flight and I flew to York. And in York, my exchange year finally started. And being an exchange student isn't about all the girls that write their numbers into your phone without even asking, which is certainly great, but it's about learning a new culture, and not the part of the culture where it's all about having parties, which get busted, which is all the people that went to college, which is fun too, but it's about learning where you are and how people have a different view of the world and how delicious fast food can be. So during this year, I had some great opportunities, and I would like to share the most interesting ones with you. So the first one was with the Hamel family when we had a weekend in West Virginia, and we went to a WVU game. Amazing. It was just such an amazing crowd. Everyone was screaming and cheering. So I just had a lot of fun there, and it was my first football game ever, so it was a really good experience. The next thing I would say was homecoming. And if you wonder why the pictures are so awesome, that's thanks to my host mom who took all of them. So anyhow, some people might wonder why do I like homecoming? Because I mean, it's basically you have to spend money to get a matching tie, buy homecoming tickets, and take the girl out to a fairly nice restaurant, all very expensive. The answer is simple. I live with my dad's credit card. I really love dancing all night long with my very good friend, and we both had an amazing time. So my next big thing was my trip to New York with about 30 other exchange students. And we were all really excited and had an amazing time, as you can see on the pictures, obviously. I would say the best thing was visiting a musical. It was Cinderella, like a newer version of it, with a lot of humor, and we all were laughing continuously. Also, going to the top of the Empire State Building was really neat, because at night the view was just beautiful. And I was really happy though that I had my jacket with me, because I mean, people tell you, ooh, Switzerland is cold, oh my God. No, go on top of the Empire State Building at night. That's So we stayed up all night and talked about our amazing impressions of this wonderful city, which obviously never sleeps. I would say, again, the next big thing was my trip to Orlando with my second host family, and I was really happy that I could escape the cold Europe for a couple of days. We visited Disney World. I enjoyed all the rides with my host sister, and eventually you'll see my host mom screaming because she was kind of scared. But it was certainly great. JFK Space Center was amazing. I've been there a couple of years ago with my dad, and going back was really nice. And seeing that some things changed and some didn't. And certainly a great thing was meeting a Rotex, because my host sister, she went to Poland 2 years ago, and one of her friends who went to Poland with her lived in Orlando, so we met her and relaxed at the pool for a bit. All right, so again, my sister took that picture. Later, my next trip was, it led me to West Virginia again, but this time it was a lot colder, and we went skiing. And I was super excited because I haven't been skiing in a really long time, and I didn't expect that there would be an opportunity to go skiing, but there was, and people were telling me the slopes are really bad there. But actually, it was pretty nice, and some of them were quite steep, and I fell once or twice. Not more than that. So, we had a lot of fun there, and skied all day, and at night we went bowling. I haven't been bowling in 10 years, but I think them all great. And we went laser tagging, which was really cool, because it's like paintball basically, but without painting your face and getting hit and getting blue spots all over your body. And we just fooled around and lost against our parents. Great. It was kind of embarrassing. So I would say another great experience was moving to my next host family. They are a really loving host family, and I really enjoyed playing ping pong with them. And it's pretty tied between my host dad and I most of the time. And we had a lot of fun together. Now, while living there, my previous host family took me to Rehoboth, which was amazing. I fell in love with Rehoboth immediately. I mean, just the boardwalk next to the beach and being able to looking on the sea is just so beautiful. And I wish I could just stay there. Oh, and if you ever go to Rehoboth, there's a place called the Fractured Queen, and they're not paying me to say this, but their donuts are amazing. We bought 6 items in like 10 minutes. It felt great. While eating, not so very happy. So, yeah, I mean, as you can see, we took some selfies over there, and there's a boardwalk, which I love. And after that, pretty soon I went to a baseball game, my first baseball game ever with Mark Miller, and we were in the box. Wow, yeah. You could look over the whole stadium and the Revs stadium, and it was really a lot of fun seeing a new sport for the first time, because, I mean, all I've ever seen was Dreams of Field, I believe it's called, and that was a good movie, but I've never actually been to a baseball game, so And so I got a really nice tux for prom, and I went with a really good friend called Caitlin, and we danced all night long with our friend Shelby as well. And it was really nice because in Switzerland, we don't have anything like it. We don't have any like school events. It's just school and study at home. So it was a pretty big thing for me. And after prom, we went to post prom to get a lot of food, play poker, and go to a bouncy house, which was just great. And I wish the night would have never ended. And after prom, which was pretty much one of the last events in the year, my last day of school, unfortunately, it was too busy. Not sure anymore. And the seniors tried to do a prank, so we tried to vlog the underclassmen from parking lots. We managed for a bit until we had to move our cars and had to get down from the roof and stop launching water balloons. I wonder why. Definitely wasn't dangerous and no one could have fallen down. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, but also a very sad moment for me as I realized that it's over. My exchange year in a couple of days, I'll be leaving now. I was really happy that I had the chance of coming here, and I'm really thankful for everyone who made this possible for me. For the presentation.
Next up, we have Teddy Tailliez from France, who spent the year at Dallas Council District.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Director goes up in the slideshow over there. Okay, so this slideshow is called Exchange, not the year, not the last time in here. It was one of the most I would say early exchange students this year. We said that a lot. So I don't know if everyone can hear. It's just to thank everyone. Just this year was the best year of my life. I wish you could say like this, whatever. But yeah, you have to be an adult sometimes. So, I have to go back to France and go to college, and I'm not that happy about that. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I don't have to say how grateful I am for that. So, for those who don't know, I come from France, and most people here know Paris, Marseille, Nice, but actually come from a very little town between the two cities, Marseille and Nice. And so it's very beautiful, very different from here because there's no winter basically, and there's only 12,000 people. The minimum temperature for us in winter is 44.5 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. Winter for me is not okay. And here's some information. It's 1 hour and 33 minutes away from these for those who know the city. So I graduated from my school last year called Pradet, and I'm a senior all over again Dallas now. So becoming a senior once again was, I think, most of the time a good idea, but there's, you go back to class with younger people. So it was not always easy because of maturity difference, I think, but I pretty much loved it because being a senior in France and being a senior in the United States is incredibly different. We have a lot more freedom in France, but a lot more, I would say, room for creativity in the United States. And during this year, I've been visited by 2 Swiss families. The provinces in the cities, first and 4 months with the provinces, and the rest of my year with the cities. And I have now 3 new siblings, plus one I've never met, and that hopefully I will meet soon. Lots of grandparents, because, from each side. And I have 2 pairs of parents now, plus my French mom. And during an exchange, it's having new experiences, and I had a lot of them, but I'm just going to show you the most important one. My first s'mores, it was interesting. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. It's really, when I think about that, I think about summer. It was, I don't know, it was so fun. Not the best thing when it comes to taste, I don't like it, but it was still a lot of fun. The second picture is my first day. Also, it's a picture that I took about my first with mom. And I was terrified. It was like, I've never been to the UK with my school, and my friends with me in France. So here going to new high school and what I'm going to wear, and just, I don't know, it was terrifying. And the next picture is my first real winter. I basically, I've never seen snow before. It was quite amazing. So my little sister Harper is holding a ruler, just usually, high with the snow in the That's it. And during this year, I've had, I guess, 3 major trips: New York, Baltimore, and Washington. I've also been to downtown New York, but the new one was much better. Going to New York was my option. So I've always loved Broadway, so I think that's why I wanted to go to New York so bad. But I've been to New York 3 times, and I never get tired of it. I think there's so many things to see, and it's so alive, and I love it. So the 2 pictures here are from the Rotary trip. And I met a lot of new students, and it was amazing. One of those things that I would have never thought by myself. With my parents. The first picture is from Times Square, which is a lot smaller than I was expecting. But when you see it in the movie, it's so huge. And the next one is with 2 French exchange students who were going to see the Statue of Liberty. In Baltimore. I went to Baltimore 2 times, and especially to see the aquarium, and I loved it so much. It was so cool. The first picture, it was with my first family, so you can see my first sister Eliza with her best friend Jordan. And so it's the statue in the aquarium, and you went to see it. And the second one, you can see, kind of see my dad, my little brother Mason, and my mom Christy. And next trip, Washington. I went to Washington several times. Twice actually. The first picture was the second time. It was with the trip of the Rotary, and once again, each time we go out with the other stations, it's always a lot of fun. The second picture was my first time here. It was my first week in the United States. I went over there with my counselor and his family, right? And it was quite awesome because we visited all this. Into the visitors are selfies. We took a lot of selfies during the musical. Dallas Town, I think, is well known for its musical, and there's definitely a reason we won Best Overall Show, and it was the most amazing. From all the things I've done here, this was the best thing ever, because I wanted to be in a musical. That was my ultimate dream, and I've met my best friends here, and they're so open-minded and talented, and I love it so much. So that's me. I don't know if you guys see me. prom. I did not talk about prom before, but it was still a great experience. I went to homecoming too, but I did not really like it because I think I was not prepared to the way people were dancing. It's a bit weird. But this was a great experience, really. My friends from school, who I was French class with, because I decided to take French, which was not a good idea. And this final picture, it's the first thing I saw when I arrived in the United States, basically. It was in Detroit. And I love this picture because I think it represents perfectly my year. It's colorful and it's beautiful. And this year was basically colorful and beautiful. It was the most amazing year ever. And thank you, everyone.
And next up, we have Christopher Pinto, who's here from Chile, and was second year in West Zurich School District.
Hi, I'm Christopher. I come from Chile. Seeing all the presentations, I feel that I make a little bit misunderstood. So I make a presentation about my country, not my experience here, but also about my experience here. So first, this is my vlog. I want to start on representing an only union nation and called Chile. Sorry, I can't control this technology. So, the actual name is Republic of Chile. Hopefully not the same region as Spanish name. In South America, the capital is Santiago. Limited with Peru in the north, Bolivia in the northeast, and the east with Argentina. The first language is Spanish, or first material that we explored and discover. We have some islands called San Fernandez, Salas Gomez, Venturas, and Easter Island. Our currency is Chilean peso or peso chileno. This is a picture from Chile. It's an island called Chuquicamata. Is where we get all the cocoa from. This is Easter Island. It's pretty far away from Chile, but it's also a really great place. I have been once. Really warm. It's kind of Florida. The weather, if you want to learn something like that. This is our currency. The smallest bill is the green ones, 1,000. You represent kind of $2. Now the currency is changing and it's a little less. So if you notice, all the bills have different length. There is for the people that cannot see or have some problems. They make this difference. There is all the coins from talking about numbers, first movement to get independence from Spain was September 18, 1810. Actually, independence from Spain was 12 February 1818. South America, I guess some kind of from Central America. We agree that we are going to use the first independence as the day of independence. The current constitution is from September 11, 1980. The total surface area is a number is a lot smaller than America, whereas long as the country. Our population is also a lot lower than here. It's only 2 million. Say that. The length is about 4,300 kilometers from north to south. It's about 350 kilometers width. So pretty skinny compared to it's northern Chile. There is some beautiful places. Serve the cancer, the flowers, serve, and also usually, as all we know, we love the warm weather, we love summer, and it's a great place to be. This is central. This is actually kind of more than this city or the capital. Viña del Mar is where is it that walk and place it. Believe it or not, there's a garden that's all flowers. Then there is a second picture, top right, is Santiago. As you will see, is surrounded by mountains, so we are in a big hole. The third picture is the tallest building in Santiago. The last one is funiculars, I guess, is the translation. It's kind of transport between mountains in Valparaiso, next city. This southern Finland is all great places and mountains and green areas, waterfalls, mostly a great place to get there for vacation. I mean, it's really cold. I couldn't live there. The Chilean world is obviously tourism. As you can see, we have a waterfall that I wasn't there. My parents have been there. I'm not sure. It's kind of discovered my own country. I didn't know. And obviously some beautiful places. I was part in the south and in the north, not the capital of the city. A great place to visit. A great place to live. There's a picture that you will see is some characteristic. There is elevator from Valparaiso that is used said about 200 years ago. Now they're not working because we have something better than them, but they're pretty cool. Then Easter Island, those are the noise, the instructors, human faces, everything. Then we have mountains from the south. If you see that tree is actually unique. It only grows 1 inch per year. To get like that tall price would be, I don't know, 2,000 years maybe to get that tall. Then the last houses are now, I don't know if they're actually work now anymore, but from the last earthquake, I cannot say anything now. So if they still there, it's good to be good. If it's not, wouldn't be surprised. have two kinds. We have, I guess, all the rest, and friends need one that we cannot have for the weather. Then we have white strawberries, and then I'm not sure about the other fruit. It's kind of cranberry, but it's also unique. The cranberry of that fruit is for teenagers, so it's pretty expensive to get there. Both fruits are getting extinct. The first picture is about Mr. Iceland is most people in Chile anymore. But they use a lot of seafood, and they cook all together in the ground. The past. For culture, we got Nobel Prizes. Pablo Neruda, 1971. Gabriel Mistral, 1945. Then we have a National Prize of Literature. Only 4 years ago, Isabel Allende. It was fun because only a few weeks ago I saw somebody reading a book from Isabel Allende and saying, "Oh, do you know where she come from?" And she said, "No. Oh, you know, she come from Chile. I come from Chile too." Very good. Then Violeta Barra was a Chilean composer and songwriter, vocalist, and immunologist. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Visual artist. She made a research and digital area from a few years ago with all the Rotary and all the people taking power, so it was a really hard time. She knew how to make music and all the people get over that. Then Victor Carl was a good singer, composer, political activist, and a member of the Communist Party of Chile. But it's also, as you know, this area of the world is not very common to have a communist, so he couldn't be an activist anymore. So he died the same year as the communists were in Chile, then no one else had. He has disappeared, we assume. There's some difference between Chile and the United States that now is getting real, now that you know a little bit about my country. You know that the transport is a lot different, because living in a city and now living in a town is a lot different. Now I need to always text to my dog. Sometimes I need to wait a long time. Sometimes, I don't know, I didn't expect something, I need to wait a lot longer for one of my faults. I always need a ride. In Chile, you have your own money, you just go and walk, take a bike, take a public transportation, go on, do your life. Distance, same as I say, transportation, all the places are so far away here, I cannot get there walking or riding a bike. This, I know, seems to be all spread out a lot more. Friendship. Usually, my friends go to my house, or I go to theirs all the time after school. Here, I feel not too responsible to do my homework, so I can't go. For some reason, physics 2 or physics 3 wasn't a good choice to come here. Independent, as I say, you can go whenever you want, wherever you want. You want to go to Chile. As soon as you get home at some time, you can go on, I don't know, around 12 in the night and say, sorry, I wasn't at my friend's house. You need to respect some times, but still being independent. Schools are a lot here. Here they say, you will have, I don't know, 400 people in your same class, I feel. Okay, how about 40? There's a big difference. So you have a minimum 1 week to do work. Here you need to get ready by the next day. That's a big difference. Rest time, usually at home I have a lot more time to get a rest. Here I never stop. I keep going and I don't know. Or I don't know if physics take me to do easier here to lead is a lot, I don't know, more active thanks to Chile. And then, as I say before, here is a lot of work. Chile is probably will take a little bit more time to do the work, which will be the same. And then, mostly last slide. Thank you, all of you, to make this possible. This was a dream I had, and now, as I want to do, is tell to my friends and say, come here. This is a great country.